Hey, what's going on, my elites and my geeks? Welcome back to RPG Elite. Now, today is special. I'm a little excited, just a little bit, because this is the beginning of something. And I pray it's the beginning of something that you will enjoy. So let me give you some context here. There is a setup. Oh, shoot. I might as well go with the road that transition. All right, so let me start from the beginning so you guys know how all of this stuff got set up. So back in May, and I've mentioned this before in a recent video, back in May, I started a Substack. It was one of the members that watched the videos here also is a member of Elite Squad, and they're also a member of the Element chat server, which only is for Elite Squad members, is Raven Wolfgar, so shout out to him. He got me hit to Substack. And I heard about Substack. I didn't really know what it was, but Substack is this writing platform. It's kind of like a writing blogging platform, but they've expanded it. So you can go, you can write as much as you want, and then you can have people subscribe to you, and then you can turn on subscriptions if they want to pay to read your stuff. I mean, all this stuff. So it's just really kind of crazy writing platform. And I was like, hey, I think I have something for this. So what I did was I started my Substack and named it Solo RPG Chronicles. And what I do over on Substack is I play a game solo. And the idea for it was I'm going to play this game solo for this season. And the next season, I'll play a different game, different system. And we're just going to go through these things. I'm going to show you how to play, and then I'm going to show you some other stuff in the process. So season one has completed over there. And the first game that I played was a game that I've had forever, but I never really played it. And that was DC Heroes 2nd Edition. And that was rather fun to play. Now, when I first started Substack, it was an experiment. I didn't know what was going on, didn't know the platform, all that. So I was just looking around. And so season one was kind of an experiment to see, am I going to keep doing this? Well, folks, after season one and going through all of that and knowing how it works and knowing at least what I'm going to use, I was like, sure, yeah, we're going to get all up in this. Now, here's the thing. I also started my memberships, and links for this stuff will be down in the description for my Substack and for my memberships, which I call the Elite Division. Very cool name, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to refer to my YouTube memberships as Elite Division for the rest of this video. So I opened up Elite Division, and I have 3 different tiers. And on the mid tier, which is called the Elite Operative, I said that I was going to give a Solo RPG Chronicles broadcast. And really what that means is that this is going to be a video of my Solo RPG Chronicles. So that is the first that I'm doing that for this season. And this is going to be a big deal. So how this is going to work is that I'm going to do my videos. Then from my videos, I'm going to extract Substack text, and I'm going to post it over on my Substack. Now, there's going to be some things over on my Substack that you're not going to get on the Elite Operative level of watching the Solo RPG Chronicles. You only get that if you are part of the command unit, which is the last and the highest level, because there'll be some cinematic gameplay that will be attached to this video. So you're going to be watching this video in one of 3 ways. You're either going to be watching it on my free public stuff, which means that you're just getting the cliff notes and the basics. I mean, I'm not going to leave you out in the cold. You'll get the basics and everything on whether or not you're going to want the game and whether or not you're going to be interested. Then there's going to be the Elite Operative level video. And that video is going to go deep and show you the nuts and bolts and the whole 9 on that. But then there's going to be the command unit video. And that gives you everything because they're going to be cinematic gameplay that's going to be a part of those videos. So that stuff in between that you see on my Substack where there's actual gameplay of the characters going back and forth, that is going to be on the command unit tier of the Elite Division. So there's 3 ways that you can experience this. I'm very excited about this because I set up some things for this that I'm itching to like test out and stuff. First season is over. It was about, I don't know, 14 posts that I did over on Substack. Now we're starting the second season. In the second season, we have a new game, and that game is Outgunned. That's right, baby. We're talking about that cinematic action. So if you like stuff like Mission Impossible, or like me, you're a very big fan of Jason Bourne, baby, in the Bourne series. I got all of the movies. Well, I don't have all the movies. I have the first three. I have the trilogy, which was the best out of all of them anyway. So I have the first three out of that. Taken, Equalizer, which I've only seen clips of, but I might actually go and watch the Equalizer. Like I said, I've only seen clips on YouTube, but it looks pretty good. John Wick, even Fight Club, stuff like that. Any kind of action, you can do it in here, baby. Or cop, the cop shows, Rush Hour, stuff like that. So we're going to get deep in the paint with some Outgunned, y'all. Man, this feels so good. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's like this high quality stuff. It feels like leathery. No joke. This feels like leather. It's not leather. I don't think it is. No, it's not leather, but it's got this kind of feel to it. And this is kind of raised, like the lettering is kind of raised. And I don't know if you can see kind of like how it shines. There you go. You see how it kind of shines like that? They put this together really good. They do that at the top here too. Very nice. Now I do, like you can see, I have the game, but we're not going to be looking at it in there because we're getting ready to go deep into paint, baby. What I mean by that is we're going to do basically two things in this session 0 video. The first is that I'm going to show you the main mechanic and the core mechanic and how Outgun works. But then we are going to go step by step by step and recreating the character for this season of the Solo RPG Chronicles. So let's get into that right now. Get into that core mechanic and then get into creating our character. Roll 'em. Our first step is going to be the core mechanic. So let's move over here and let's take a look at the character sheet so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is the character sheet, and I don't know, this right here is Johnny Reed, Johnny Bravo. How many of y'all know about Johnny Bravo?
I think you are Marvy.
Well, actually, I'm Johnny. Johnny Bravo.
But anyway, so he is an agent, and you got all this information here. We're going to go through those. The thing I want to just point out really quick is this over here when it comes to attributes and your skills. So the main heading here, that's your attribute. And those underneath it are skills. So as you can see, you have, whoops, I skipped over to the next one. There she is. Okay, this is Johnny again. So you have 5 different attributes and you have 4 skills under each attribute. And how you do things is that you take your attribute and you combine it with a skill to do whatever you want to do. So for example, if I wanted to break down a door, because that's the simplest thing, so we go over to brawn, and then we would probably go to force. And so you're going to look at the little triangles there, and those little triangles let you know how many dice you're going to roll. So in this example here, we've got 3 dice for brawn, because you've got these 3 here, and you've got 2 and 4, so you're going to have 5 dice to roll to break down the door. Awesome sauce. Now, the next thing you're going to have to understand is how things succeed. It's going to depend. It's going to depend on what type of task you're trying to do in terms of its difficulty level. So let's go ahead and take a look at the difficulty levels right now. There are 4 difficulty levels in Outgunned that you're going to be using. And technically there's 5, and we'll talk about that in a second, but normally it's going to be 4. So let's go ahead and take a look at these 4 here. So the first one is basic, a quick and easy action or reaction. Jumping over an obstacle, stealing the keys off of a distracted agent, throwing something, those are all basic actions. The next one is a critical. So you will need a critical roll in order to be successful. Get what I did there, critical roll. Okay, anyway. So this is a full action or reaction. So busting through a sturdy door. And that's what we're going to do with Agent John here. Remember, we're going to bust through a door. Jumping out of a window, earning someone's trust. So these are all things that will require a critical difficulty. As a matter of fact, that's the de facto difficulty. So if a difficulty hasn't been given by the GM, which is called the director in this game, then you will need a critical success in order to do whatever it is that you want to do. That's de facto. Going on to the next one, we have a truly demanding action or reaction, which is extreme. Picking the lock of a secure vault, shooting a speeding target at night in pouring rain, that is, persuading a sworn enemy to cooperate. So those are all extreme difficulties. And then you have the impossible difficulty, something that's desperate and crazy, like calmly exiting a car in the middle of a 180 while shooting a tiny target. Listen, I've seen this in a movie with Bruce Willis. The car is spinning around, and I want to say that Henry Cavill is in that movie too. Car's spinning around, and he just opens the door and walks on out of the car, and he's shooting at somebody at the same time. That's super cool, but it is an impossible difficulty action. I mean, come on. I mean, you're going to face plant. That's the first thing you're going to do if the car is going around like that. Okay, so these are the 4 difficulty levels that we have in Outgunned. How do you know if you're successful at a certain difficulty? Let's take a look at that next. Here we have 5 levels of success. If you go down the line here, you see the pattern. Basic success, 2 of a kind. Critical success, 3 of a kind. Extreme, 4 of a kind. And impossible, 5 of a kind. Jackpot is a special situation where you get 6 of a kind or more. And you get all types of special stuff. You get in what's called the spotlight, all the rest of this other extra stuff. We're not going to get into that in this video. We'll get into that if it comes up. However, you're probably going to be dealing mostly up to the 5 level. Those are the ones that you're going to be dealing with as far as difficulty levels. And when it comes to these successes, the number on the die doesn't matter. You can have 5 5s, that's still an impossible success. You can have 2 4s, still a basic success. The number on the die doesn't matter. What matters is just if they are all of the same kind. That's all you need to be looking at. That's what's rather cool. So let's say I got a basic success, right? But I still didn't get that critical, because critical is what I need. You have here what's called a reroll. So you can reroll if you have, as a part of your character, a free reroll. That's one. And another way is if you get a basic success or higher. Now, since he needs a critical, I'm going to roll all the other dice that is not part of this basic success, and in order to try to get this critical success. And I got it. All right. So then I would do whatever it is that I wanted to do, which is bust down that door. So that's how that works. You get these free rerolls if not, or they're not free. You get a reroll if you get at least a basic success. If you don't get a success, then you just outright fail. Sometimes you'll get a condition with that, but that's, again, those are all special circumstances. If you have a free reroll for the certain thing that you're doing, you could just go ahead and get that technically here. Technically. For example, you get a basic success. So you would do a reroll and you did not get, let's say you needed a critical and you didn't get it. Okay. Then the next thing you can do, if for whatever you was doing, you get a free reroll, you could roll again. That's a rare circumstance, but that's the way that you could do things. So that is the basics of how you do things in Outgunned. It's really very simple. So at this point, when you're creating your character, you know how this stuff is going to work, and then you'll know where you want to put like all of your little extra points and stuff when you want to be good at something. So let's get into creating, or actually, technically, it's recreating the character that's going to be the main protagonist in season 2 of Solo RPG Chronicles, James Jacko Bullseye Bellamy. Let's do it. All right, so let's move down here. We're going to move to creating the hero. There are 8 steps. We're going to go through all 8 steps, except if you're watching this video in public, then I'm just going to skip right to the end of the character being made, and you can look at the character sheet. Now we've got Jacko Bullseye Bellamy. James is his first name, and he's ready to go. It's time to start the Solo RPG Chronicles Season 2. There it is, folks. James Jacko Bullseye Bellamy, the star of our second season in Solo RPG Chronicles, Crosshairs, and Conspiracies. Now, for those of you who are not part of the Elite Division, maybe you don't have the extra cash, then you can still follow along with Jacko's exploits over on Substack for free. The only thing it's going to cost you is a subscription you got to subscribe to in order to read it. So go over there, subscribe to Substack, follow along with Jacko and see how things go in the second season. And the link for that will be down in the description. Hey, if you got any value out of this video, learned a little bit of something about Outgunned, maybe, just maybe, you might want to go out there and grab you a copy of the game. Again, looking sweet, y'all. Feeling sweet. Again, every time I pick this up, I don't know what it is, but it just feels good. I really like this. Okay, anyway, if you got any value today, you want to go and grab the game, link for that is down in the description as well. Then go ahead and do me a solid also for this video and crush that like button. Also, if you want to stick around, I'll come out with videos every Tuesday, God willing. And like I said, I got other videos behind the scenes in the Elite Division. You really need to get up on that, y'all. If you want to support a brother, if you can support a brother, do a little something for me, if you could, please. But if you just want to stick around here and just, see all the free stuff, that's cool too. I'm glad to have you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. All right. Here is the question of the vid. When it comes to Outgunned, seeing how everything is, what do you like about the core mechanic? What don't you like about the core mechanic? Or maybe you just like something about the core mechanic. Maybe you just don't like something about the core mechanic. Just go ahead and let's talk about that for Outgunned. I like it. It's simple and you get a chance to do stuff. But of course, just like any session, you just might be having a bad night, getting no basic successes at all. It's just all bad. It doesn't matter if you reroll or not. You're just not getting it. But I like the system because it's simple. It doesn't get in the way of the story. It actually complements the story. And that's always a good thing when it comes to being an RPG Elite. We don't like a system that gets in the way of the story. All right, that's going to be it for me, y'all. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. But I gonna have to get out of here and do my snaggle push.
So exit, stage left.
Hey, if you got a game going on this week, happy game, man. I pray it is an RPG Elite session. In the meantime, between time, go ahead and watch this video right here. But me, I gotta go, y'all. Actually, I want to go because I want to start making content for this. I want to get into season or episode 1. Not lying, just excited, want to do it. So I'm gone. Peace. 5,000 links. That's right. Your boy servant is out.